Do you have like a filter on?
Oh, it's like a pretty filter.
Mm.
Don't you look so nice? Lines. Look, all your wrinkles are almost gone.
Yeah, it makes my nose wrinkles
Kevin,
go.
did you get Botox? What happened? Good job.
Welcome to A Word with the Girls. I'm here with Emily and Abby. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram at A Word with the Girls. And if you haven't subscribed to our podcast on Spotify or YouTube, even though it's been a little sparse lately, it's still worth subscribing to so that you don't miss an episode. Also, don't forget you can always catch up on old ones. But we would love to hear from you. If you've got a question or a word you would like for us to discuss, make sure you put that in the comments on Spotify, Instagram, or YouTube. And maybe we'll feature it in a future episode. All right. It feels important for us to focus on, a topic that's really important to us. And that takes up a lot of our time. So I feel like we need to do some reality TV recap.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot going on right now. Lots of shows.
Yes.
That we care about. So.
And that we all are watching, which is super fun to get each other's takes on it. So,
but it also means you don't actually have to go watch these shows.
Right. We're going to spoil all of it for you in the next.
And don't judge us based on what we watch.
Whatever. I feel like there are more people who watch reality television than there are that don't.
That's true.
Right. Yeah.
And I feel like the people that would judge you for watching reality television probably don't own a television.
Oh.
So then it wouldn't matter.
True.
What TV you watched, you would still be judged for watching television. So,
yeah, it's a great lens to look through it.
I don't
know. So here is the Cliff Notes version of our TV recap. Abby, are you watching Love is Blind?
I am.
Yeah.
I get on board and then I'm kind of like, some of it's a little, I don't know. I don't really like the language they use all the time.
The stuff they're talking about.
I'm like, that's the part that I'm like, I don't love that part.
And no one needs to hear some of that.
Yeah. So I watch it, but I'm not proud that I watch it.
I mean, it does not compare. Like UK's was like classy and, mature. I just feel like US versions of things are just kind of trashy and cringy and dumpster fiery
and super embarrassing.
That too.
Like, I mean, this is the sample of humans.
I know. Well, it is DC.
Illustrate the dating pool, which the dating pool is bad, but seriously.
Well, and it's so interesting. Like, I feel like in the pods, you have this undivided attention with each other to really share and share about a lot of different things. And somehow, once you're engaged and you're in love with this person, you learn things that are kind of pivotal to who you are. And they don't like that about you. Like, why didn't you talk about that in the pods or wanting kids or I don't know.
Or already having kids. Got to that one.
Oh my. Crazy.
Is so insane. And then he just keeps lying.
I know.
Because there's literally pictures of him with the children.
I know. So they're not just a sperm.
No. No, he has a relationship.
That's where I'm at. I'm at that he's just a sperm donor.
She doesn't know this. This is on social media. The mom is coming out.
Yeah. So she doesn't know. You don't know if you're just watching the show.
Oh, okay.
But if you look at the information that's come out since, he's lying. Like when she's like, so do they know what you look like? And he's like, no. And there's literally photos of them at Christmas time.
And he says this was specifically for a couple. But I'm pretty sure it was more than him just being I think they were in a relationship together. I don't know.
Because it was a gay couple.
Yeah, but I feel like, I don't know. It's just really, but to lie that blatantly.
Well, and then just think it's not going to come out. How stupid do you have to be?
That's what I was saying. I can't remember who I was talking to. Maybe even Kevin. As soon as you go on one of these reality TV shows, people from your past, whether they like you or not, are going to throw your all your crap out there.
And internet sleuths, people who live on Reddit.
Yeah.
Even just your typical basic girl on the street can find out all kinds of
dirt.
about anyone with the tiniest bit of information, let alone someone who's been on national television.
I know.
And it's usually the men. It's usually the men who are like so dumb to think that none of this is ever going to come out.
Mhm.
And then for them to just lie so blatantly on camera is like,
So messed up.
bro, what are you thinking?
I know.
So I'm more excited for the reunion than anything else because
that's what everybody keeps saying.
I want to see them. Yeah.
Mhm.
What do you
Okay.
have to say for yourself?
So with the couples that, okay, first of all, I want to know what your thoughts are on, what's her name? Hannah and Nick.
Hannah and Nick.
I'm sorry. She is a mean girl who is condescending. Like she treats him like a child.
I think he wants to be a good partner.
Yeah.
And she just brings him down over and over and over again. And I'm like, if you want a man to love you, you can't treat him like that.
No.
Also, you can't be calling him immature and making fun of him or like being so critical of his lagging skills when like the way you're speaking to him only
Exactly.
proves how immature you are and how insecure you are.
Right.
Now, granted, yes, like he has some room to grow. Like he lives with mom and dad. Like he really doesn't have a whole lot. And I get that, but like, oh, it was just really painful to watch. And I'm glad they're
When they
not.
were talking about like the finance stuff and she's sitting at the table with him, I was like,
He was like, I've taught you everything you know.
I know I
You've
turned a
known him for
child
3
into
weeks.
a man. Like,
What are you even talking about?
yeah, I don't like her at all.
no, I did not think that they were going to do well. I am concerned for Ramses and what's her name?
Marissa, I don't like him.
No. I mean, the lack of respect for her military career, first of all, and the
Yeah,
whole
that
birth
was
control
awful.
thing. I'm sorry. No.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think they're gonna. Are they gonna get?
I hope they don't because I don't think it will
Something
work out well
happened.
for them.
Something happened because they were like,
yeah.
oof.
Yeah.
The critique that I've been hearing is like he comes off as this like progressive nonprofit guy who's like, you know, so liberal or whatever,
Mhm.
but then has these like really antiquated ideas of the role of the woman. I'm sorry, what?
I was having a hard time following that because that's the episode I was watching today
Yes.
where she was like, I just sometimes don't want to be touched. And sometimes I feel yucky. Like I'm allowed.
Right. And he's like, is this
Right.
gonna be like my life then? Like you.
Right.
Which like, what are you asking me? Am I ever gonna be sick while we're married? Yes.
Well, and I don't know if does she have like endometriosis or something? Like, is there something, an underlying condition that she has that like affects her in some way? I don't really know.
Maybe. And that's why she can't
Maybe
be on
that's why
birth
she's
control.
on birth control too.
Right. Which then he is being completely selfish in that regard too. But again, can't you talk about like, shouldn't you talk about these things in the pods? I don't know. Like,
Right.
I just don't have faith that those two are going to work out. And I don't think they were because I see her on TikTok and she seems quite single, but who am I to make
Her mom was scary.
Her mom
Oh my
was
gosh. And has no faith in like the marriage thing at all. Like she's going to get divorced in like 5 years or whatever. Like, oh gosh, like, well,
yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
I think
very interesting.
when you're jaded, that is going to be your attitude.
Yeah.
Sure.
But yeah, they were bad. I don't know what happened with
Ashley and Tim.
I mean, I had high hopes for, I was like, oh wow, like both of her parents have MS. Like she has this like compassionate soul. She seems to be a mean, aggressive girl too. Like, I don't know. I think she was kind of like
maybe she's not okay.
like verbally abusive or something.
Whoever's taking that many naps during the day, are you okay? Like, what are you doing? I don't know what
Yeah.
her job is. What's her job?
I can't remember. But he seemed like a really sweet guy. I feel like he
liked him.
communicated well.
But then he was so mean when he broke up with her, which was a little bit uncalled for to me.
And she kind of was just like,
Same.
she was kind of like, okay. Well, and then she had a video on, again, this is all TikTok, like after the fact, she was like, I was just mad that my chicken nuggets were getting cold or something
I
like
felt
that.
sorry for her about that too. Like,
Yeah.
can I eat my dinner, please?
Right.
And he was like,
Oh,
are you gonna come and sit on the couch?
I know. So it just was
And
like
then just like
super
ripped her
toxic.
apart.
Yeah. It was like really,
Which
mean-
again, I think the same thing for Hannah and Nick and for Tim and Ashley. Like, Hannah, if you don't like Nick, then don't be in a relationship with him. You don't have to completely destroy him every time you
Right.
speak to him. And the
Right.
same thing with Tim and Ashley. If you don't like her, then leave. But for him to be like, I never want to see her face again. Like,
right. Yeah.
calm down, dude. Also, that's scary for him to go from like with the dad, getting the dad to cry and asking for his permission to like, I never want to see your face again.
Within like what, a couple of days, maybe a week.
Are you okay? Like, what in the world?
I know. Like, and the other thing is you don't know what's going on behind the scenes, because if it's this toxic and this like this early on in a relationship when it should be like fun, and I know it's like an expedited process,
Mhm.
like you don't have a whole lot of, there's not a whole lot going for you to have a successful marriage. Now, the couple I do love are the scientists. I think they're
I
Yeah.
do
cute.
too.
Taylor and Garrett, I know I'm rooting for them.
Do they seem as though they'll survive?
I think so.
There is a you haven't seen the flapper party yet, right?
No, but I've seen the drama in the commercials leading up to it.
So yeah, although I feel like everything that he said, apart from like giving her the full story, I guess,
Right.
there was nothing wrong with what he did.
Right. Like he's literally closing this chapter.
Right.
So I don't know. I
Yeah.
think there's just, I could only assume as you get closer to the D-Day, you know, when you're deciding, like everything is like bigger. Like everything that they do is either like, this is going to make or break us. So yeah, but they're cute. Who else do we have? I don't know if anybody else is successful.
Ashley and Tyler.
Oh,
Who is that?
the baby daddy.
Mhm.
Oh,
And I think once she learns, she's going to bounce too.
If she finds out all of that.
I mean, eventually she probably does. Cause I don't know. Is it like a year between the time when like the season wraps to when they do the reunion? It's like usually like a year later.
Well, so someone said that when Taylor and Garrett were fighting, she said something like, it's 2022, man. So that means it was 2 years ago.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
To have to keep all of this on the DL, if you're like very,
Like if you're an influencer already.
right. Like there's so many NDAs because Nick was found at an airport and somebody asked him some questions and he pretty much was like, yeah, I'm not married anymore. And so like there were spoilers already being shared. I don't know.
How
So
do
it's
you
just
even
kind of
do that? Like it's kind of Love is Blind's problem. If you can't get your
Yeah.
stuff together in order to like produce,
Mhm.
unless you're like sending these people into hiding.
Right. For 2 years.
So
But yeah, I'll look forward to the weddings, the one which May. I think that will be the only one that survives.
mhm.
dang.
But I don't think I'd want you to go on that show, Mal. I like the
No.
concept of it, but I don't want you on reality TV.
Yeah.
You know,
Maybe I could do it and still find someone but not film.
sure,
You
that'd be
know?
cool. Yeah, maybe Nick ends up with that girl, the other
Okay.
flapper girl. Mhm.
Well, because she was like,
Wasn't she older?
yeah, it's a no for me, man. Like she told him the same stuff that Hannah's been telling him, but in a much nicer way.
Right.
Hmm.
And I think she's
Yeah,
older than
she's
him.
35.
Right. Yeah.
Oh. He needs someone who's like 24.
Well,
I know.
isn't Hannah? Hannah's like 25.
Well, she's 26, but
That girl she thinks
I
she
know
is
it
the
all.
coolest thing since sliced bread. And I'm like,
It's-
girlfriend, you
well,
got
and even her parents
called her
uh,
out.
Yeah, I was like, oh, it's kind of mean too, though, how they're treating her. Like, I'm like,
mhm.
Yeah.
it was just the whole dynamic was very weird.
They also just like didn't look like her parents.
People were
No.
saying they were fake family. I don't know if that's true or
Oh
not.
my gosh.
I don't know.
Because I didn't see a resemblance at all, and I was like,
the
I was
dad,
thinking,
I was like, who is this strange man that they just like pulled off the street? He doesn't look old enough to be her dad. He doesn't look interested enough to be her dad.
that was very weird.
So weird.
And I was so sure that Nick was going to be like, "Ooh, your mom's cute. Ew.
Oh my god.
Go for your mom."
Oh man.
Yeah, that was an interesting dynamic for sure.
Mhm.
Yeah. Are you all caught up on Sister Wives? Are you watching Sister Wives?
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
I'm trying to think if I finished. I don't know if I finished. No, I did finish the most recent episode.
Yesterday.
Cody is such a jerk. He's such a jerk to Mary. He's so mean. So mean.
When he says that, if you're in love with me, you blame yourself. I'm like,
What does that mean?
I did not get that at all.
Me neither, but I was like,
He's
you
not in
are
love with
I know.
gross. Gross.
Yeah.
And
so-
he's such a liar to say that he never loved her. I don't think that's true at all.
Well, and the fact that he won't admit to abandoning her because he did, because he
He
pretty much cut her
did.
off.
Yes.
It's exactly what he did.
Yep.
Yeah. So good riddance. Like, oh, go Mary. Like, you're officially untethered from this man for all of eternity. Like, you go, girl.
And I kind of love that she went the official route and like
Same.
unattached herself through the church, even though he has nothing to do with it. I'm just sure that's got to be such a blow to his ego,
Oh, yeah.
which it was. He was so mad.
Well, and to be called up by them.
So
Right.
good.
Yeah. Love it.
So good.
Way to go. And then Christine and her cuteness with
David.
And
But,
I
like-
didn't know he was a widower.
Me neither. I knew he had
I
8
didn't realize that
kids.
either. Yeah.
8.
Yeah. I think the sweetest thing, and also kind of like a sad reality to be like, wow, I was married to a man for like 20 years and I've never felt this way, like this loved and wanted. I can't imagine. But if you don't know
Mm-mm.
Well, and
anything,
also, how can you feel that wanted if you're also competing with like 3 other women?
exactly. Yeah. So I do like her daughters. They're real.
I mean,
Mhm.
when they were sitting and all talking, even the son was so nice. He was like telling her, "We're excited for you, but we're just cautious." And like their
Mhm.
ability to communicate was like,
I know.
Christine, you do a great job.
Mhm.
Well,
They're
and I love that her and Janelle are still like sister wives, like best friends,
Yeah.
and their kids are like the fact that they can like maintain that little like tiny community or like unity
Mhm.
amongst them, I think is really sweet. But yeah, he's done a lot of damage to those kids. It's really sad. It's really sad. And I don't
he's
blame him. I wouldn't want a relationship with him either.
Nope.
Mhm.
And he's
Ugh.
just the victim. I'm like, you don't get to play the victim. You're the
No.
parent. Are you kidding
Yeah.
me?
The one that like he's been betrayed and they
Can
spread
call
all
me.
this slander and
Oh my gosh.
yeah.
Ugh. Yeah. Mm-mm.
I do love Janelle though.
Yeah.
She's my favorite. She's been my favorite from the beginning because she's always just been like, I could do without.
Yeah, Miss Independent.
I'd actually
Yeah.
really love to live by myself. You know, like I just love
Yeah.
her. Yeah, her whole mindset.
I just hope she gets what she deserves because I feel like she's been the major breadwinner for this whole
Mhm.
family. And
She's
now
been carrying them for years.
I know. But the
Through
fact
their
that she doesn't have
stupid
anything.
business endeavors with that
Oh my
stupid My
Jewelry
Sister's
company?
closet.
that's
Was it
right.
for 10 women in the country who are also polygamous?
So embarrassing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
ugly. Remember that necklace that was like all the hearts intertwined?
Yeah. So I just hope that she, gets like her money back and lawyers up and
Mhm.
oh, so messy. So messy,
Oh,
but so
well,
good.
I'm also because what's the timing of everything?
So did you notice that at the beginning of the season they talked about the death of her son?
Well, because it's like Christmas time in the most
Like
recent episode, and didn't he pass
2022
away?
this year on his birthday or before his birthday.
Oh, so like 2 years.
It's like 2 years. Yeah.
Okay.
Because at this point at Christmas, Christine is just dating David and she's been married for like a year and a half or 2 years.
Does
That's
she
true.
marry him in 2022, 2023, summer
Yeah.
2023?
Yeah.
Okay.
So but I think I've kind of noticed, and I don't know if this is like intentional or just, but it doesn't seem like they have very many like video shots of the son.
No, in fact, I think I had seen something that in the scenes with Gabe and Janelle, he's like there,
Oh, really?
but they like you can almost see him in like a window reflection or something like that.
It's so sad.
Mhm.
But I think the thing that still trips me up is when they like pan to the peaks and I'm like, that's my home. I don't know. It's like weird.
Yeah.
Bizarre.
It's so weird.
bizarre.
Yeah. So fun. Any other TV recap you want to chat about?
I mean,
British-
Golden Bachelor.
British baking show, Golden Bachelor.
You only
I-
a couple episodes into British Baking Show.
Same.
It's so good.
They're cute.
Yeah.
And the Golden Bachelor, I just like I can't get into it. I
That's
don't-
right. You're not really.
Where
into
are
it.
they? Like
It's
in the
too-
process?
It's
Is
too emotional for M.
Hometowns are tomorrow.
Okay, so
Yes.
who are the spoiler alert? Who are the ones left?
Oh, I can never remember names.
Is Caitlin's what's her name's dad?
No, she
What?
sent-
He sent him home.
Oh my gosh, I thought they were meant to be.
Same.
He was
but
so
No,
cute.
they went on the most boring
It
and
was
awkward
so
yacht date of all
awkward.
time. They like didn't talk at all except for about their dead spouses.
Oh.
And then Jesse had to like come up with a scavenger hunt thing for them because the date was going so bad.
Wow. Okay.
Just
And then-
personality wise, just wasn't a good fit.
No.
Okay.
She came the next day and was like,
No.
I haven't been able to sleep. There's something
Wow.
missing.
Wow.
And he was feeling the opposite way, which was
Yeah, he was
really
like
sad.
in love and ready to, yeah.
Okay, so he's out. Who is in?
Doctor guy, ER doctor.
The ER doctor? Okay. Kind of young looking, sort of.
Kind of the one who
ish.
can't cook.
Pascal.
Pascal, the
Are
French
you
guy.
kidding me?
I know.
Why? That feels like a waste.
Yep.
She must be in it for the money with him.
I mean, can you
I
blame
think
her?
he's really rich.
I
For the
mean,
last
sure, but
20 years of your life,
I
mean,
guess, but
fun.
he's obnoxious.
he is. I mean,
Yeah.
if you do your hair, you have a hairdresser in your.
The cute guy, Jordan. I really like Jordan. That was a surprise though. I was like, really?
Wait, I gotta look these people up.
This podcast I listened to, they're like, Jordan who? Jordan what? Like, who even
I
is
do like him though.
He is
Oh,
cute. I
he's
just don't
great.
think he's a right fit for her.
No,
but
I don't think so. Oh, and then gross guy.
Chalk.
I do not like him.
Oh,
I
you
do
don't?
not
I think he's
no.
sweet.
Oh, I think he's so icky.
Jordan.
Ugh.
See, Jordan kind of gives me the ick. I don't know.
Oh, really? I like Jordan. That's funny. Yeah.
Oh,
Jordan
is
like,
Guy?
Mm-hmm.
How's Guy?
I don't mind him.
He's okay. I thought she didn't like him though after the cooking date where he was like
Same.
didn't know how to zest a lemon.
I liked Keith. Why didn't Keith make it?
I don't know. Keith kind of bombed it there at the end.
Yeah.
Like he just got real awkward and couldn't do it.
She's gonna end up.
She
with
also
Chalk.
cut Jonathan, which I think was a shock to everybody.
Hold on, let me see.
But
who
there's
is it.
talk of him being set up to be the Bachelor.
Really, I thought it would have been.
Well, I don't know. I felt like they were setting up Mark to be him
Yeah.
too, but
Maybe
but
they
no,
need
they
to-
were like with Jonathan when he was showing her pictures of like his mom and like
Oh,
I think there was a scene in the limo on the way home too, like when he got voted off where it was like he's like my journey's not over or something.
mm.
I mean, to have a black golden bachelor.
Well, because you'd have a black golden bachelor and then a black regular bachelor too, because Grant is the
Oh.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Mhm.
Who was the guy? He was like really sweet, kind of nerdy, tall. He was
Dan?
a dad. Maybe. I'm trying to look. Yeah, Bob.
Oh, Bob. He got kicked off a long time ago.
Oh, I just thought he was so nerdy and sweet.
I liked Dan.
Which one was Dan?
He was like the one who shook, who did the ribbons.
Yes. Oh,
Yeah.
I liked him too.
Dan. I don't know who all these people
I,
are.
honestly, like I just don't like Joan very much.
Oh,
I'm just not drawn to her really.
okay.
So yeah, it's like hard to get excited about.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't like not like her, but it's just like,
I just can't get a read on her.
no.
And based on the men she's choosing, I'm like, nope.
Well, that's the thing. Like, I'm like, girl, what are you doing?
Like to have Chalk and Pascal, I'm like, I don't know you. Nope. Okay.
right.
Chuck's the veteran. Is it the Navy guy?
No.
He's the one whose mom passed away.
Oh,
He,
yeah,
Oh,
his
but he
mom
still
died on
came.
the season.
But he still
he was
came.
kind of a mama's boy though. I just
Grill master.
I also was turned off because on the first night he was like, "Well, I've been to Greece. Well, I've been to blah blah blah. Well, I've been like it was like
I just
oh,
don't
okay."
like his face. His eyes are just like when they look at her, I'm like, ew, don't look at her.
Well, and
Go
then
away.
the bowling date when he's like
Oh,
whispering in her ear, like, "Which side of the bed do you sleep on?"
I know. I was like, ew. No.
Quit talking to me.
I don't like him.
Ugh.
Gross.
What'd you say the guy you liked, Mo?
Dan.
I want to try to find him.
I also kind of liked CK. He left a long time ago too. He was a black guy.
Oh, the super fun one.
Yep.
Oh, I loved him. He
I
was
liked him.
so fun.
Yeah.
I liked the one guy, but then you said he has a restraining order against him.
Oh, Gil. Yeah. He's
Oh,
not-
yeah. Can you imagine? Yikes.
Yeah, I liked him. I was like,
Oh, Dan, the private investigator. That's the one you liked? He was
That was his job.
it was cool.
Yeah, he just seemed like sweet.
Yeah,
He
did.
really loved his kids too.
Yep.
yeah. So fun. Well.
I also think the dynamic is interesting when it's the men who have been divorced and then the men who have
Mhm.
lost their spouse.
Mhm.
I just think it would be hard to connect.
Oh, with
like-
those guys. Like, you
Yes,
totally.
like I'm not going to give you any empathy. Are you kidding me? Like I would have loved to have kept my spouse, yet here you are choosing to divorce yours. Like I think if I were Joan, I would have a hard time connecting with somebody.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, some of them divorced their wives because of
Well, the addiction, yeah,
difficult situations.
totally. And yes, I guess
And raise their children on their own.
yeah, situational for sure.
Yeah. Hmm.
And I don't know what Pascal's thing is. Does he have kids?
Yeah.
He does have kids because his son was on that one, the first episode.
Mm-hmm.
He just doesn't really talk about his.
I just am not drawn to him at all.
No, me neither. Me neither. I don't get it.
No, I thought he was just kind of like a random producer plant.
Right. Or like
That's now
a
made it to-
gimmick or something.
Yeah. But I don't know. Maybe it's a ratings thing.
Or she really is attracted to him, I guess.
Maybe. Not my cup of tea,
Mm-mm.
but well, fun. Well, that concludes our TV recap. Now, Abby, we we recently had an episode where you literally talked for maybe 2 minutes out of the entire episode, and we didn't even give you an opportunity to share how schooling is going for you. Because I was thinking when I was sharing about like how do teachers do all of this? You teach math and science. You do it all for 2 kids. So I want to know how homeschooling's going. You're almost to the end of the semester. Millie is in 3rd grade.
Kind
Amos-
of, yeah, second, third, because we're finishing curriculums from last year.
And then Amos is in.
First, second.
Okay. So how's school going? How are y'all doing with Annie in tow?
Yeah, this year is feeling just much better. We had actually switched up what we committed to for our enrichment program here, which really helped.
Mhm.
So instead of 2 days a week, we're just 1 day a week. So 1 day a week, the kids go to their enrichment program from 8:30 to 3, and they love it, which is so great. And it's so good for them. The teachers are wonderful and they learn good stuff. And then Annie and I get a day for just us. But then that means during the week, I keep our homeschool schedule Monday through Thursday. Even though Alex's schedule is all over the place, it just helps me and the kids stay on track better if we have a more fixed routine. And then if Alex happens to be home, he either helps out with school or he goes and does his own thing while we do school in the morning. But it's going so good. I've really simplified things. We every morning I write on their whiteboard and we do the date, Bible verse, and a daily question. And so actually for the last 3 weeks, we were learning Psalm 23. And so the kids memorized Psalm 23. And then the question that I would ask was like, what characteristic do you see in God? And so we talk about like the staff. What does the staff mean? What does it mean? Yeah. To, where he leads us and guides us. And anyway, so yeah, I just feel like simplifying our life has really just allowed us to enjoy it more. We've simplified our extracurriculars as well, which is hard, but I think saying no to more has really been good. We just get to be at home, slow mornings, focus on school. I don't feel like I'm trying to rush the kids as much. For some reason, last year I felt like I tried to rush them through school and it was not successful, obviously. So, but yeah, we get up there, we do our morning thing, and then I've figured out that I've always done kind of one kid at a time, but this year after their like scripture and their calendar stuff, and we have these little prayer journals, Amos takes a break. He plays with Annie, and then I sit with Millie and do her math, do her first lesson, and then there's independent work. And then when she's doing that, Annie kind of plays by herself and I switch and do math with Amos. And then by the time Amos is done, Millie's on her break. And so I've figured out a good rhythm so the kids help with Annie. And yeah. And then with ELA, that's been a really fun change. I switched up our curriculum and I think it's like actually a Catholic curriculum. But it's been really, really good. Millie loves English and she's a fantastic writer. And so she's just learning, how to be a better writer, how to edit and pre-write. And
Wow.
she's an incredible author. She's written, 4 different stories. She has like 4 different ideas. One of them is like a group of, I think it's 7 kids who go on mystery hunts. Another one is Fuzzy and something. It's the adventures of Fuzzy Bear and someone Fox. That's another one. And she just, so anyway, it's fun to find these things out about these kids and help just them grow in the areas that they really love. So,
That's
but
awesome.
it's been really great.
Do you have a subject that you like enjoy teaching the most, that you feel like, I don't know, like the most confident in, or like that you?
Probably English. Yeah, I would say probably English because I think they both just really love to be creative in writing. And so science is my least favorite, and they do science at enrichment program anyway, so I like nope, not touching that. We did also do a new history curriculum. History has been a tricky one. I've bounced around from curriculums, and this one we found is really good. It's like a faith-based curriculum, but it has lots of literature. And it's been really fun. We learned about the Vikings. We're now in Native American history, and then we're moving into early American history. So
amazing. Well, hats off to you, Abby, for you're like double teacher, triple teacher, really. Then you also have Annie, but like, it really is impressive that you are choosing to do this, and like, and obviously your kids are super smart, so you're doing a great job. So I just really admire what you do, because I was exhausted last week when I taught 3rd grade for a week, and you're doing 3rd and 2nd and all of it. So
well, I think it's just, I mean, I personally could never be a teacher, a public school, private school, whatever type of schooling outside of homeschool. I would never choose to be that teacher because that's just not anything that I think I could have the capacity for, because it just is so much. So I think at home, yeah, it is different, but it is also still a lot.
Yeah.
But I think they're also they're like comparing apples and oranges a little bit.
Totally.
So,
Yeah. But you're
no,
still having to
hats
like
off.
prep. Like you have to prep,
Oh
right?
yeah. Well, and
So,
it's like on me to make sure they're actually doing school.
right.
So, I mean, it's not like we're just at home coloring all day, especially because Millie is in 3rd grade. Like that's an important grade. I mean, all of them are, but
Is she learning distributive properties of the multiples of 10 yet? Because that's what I had to teach last week, and it was really hard. I had to like study. I had one kid
no.
literally crying because he didn't understand. I was like, I know, I'm sorry, I'll do better. Like, hold on. And so by the end of
Oh.
the week, we figured it out. But it was it's just like Molly, you were an education major, like the whole idea of pedagogy, like the idea of teaching a subject, like teaching math, where you're like, I have all this foundational knowledge and you have none. So how do we start from square one? Like so hard, so challenging.
Yeah, that's important. And I don't know. I think in our setting, it's more of a like the education I want is very rounded in the sense of like I'm called to this. There's more depth to it than being an educator in a school and that's like your career. I don't know, it's just a different, I feel like it's a different vibe. And I think over the years too, God's just molded me. Like I think my patience has gotten better. I feel less pressure. I'm just trying to help the kids learn what's necessary and yeah, kind of forget the rest. I don't know.
Yeah.
So,
Cool. Well, I admire you.
well, thanks. It's the best. So
You've
I
got
feel
good
really
kiddos.
lucky to do it.
Yeah.
Mhm. They're the best.
Yeah. Well, how's school? Psych going? School. Master's going?
It's hard. Yeah. That last episode, I was feeling quite confident and proud of myself and my abilities. And then I got taken down a couple notches. Just some rough, rough run-ins with different colleagues and parents and students. You know, I think part of it is like when I don't know, part of it I think is just that people are not okay. And so they're just really angry and anxious and stressed and worried about their kids and worried about their job and worried about whatever. And then they just like take it out on people. And then I think there's also just something about like when you are in a position of, being the one to toe the line and hold people accountable, like you're going to be a target for frustration.
And you're going to have like,
so
yeah.
So yeah, everything is a learning opportunity on like how to communicate, how to be a calm presence, how to be firm, how to say, you don't get to speak to me that way.
Mm-hmm.
When you're ready to speak to me in a respectful way, we can have this conversation. But yeah,
That takes some guts to speak that boldly.
Which I didn't say those words exactly, but whenever I replay the conversation in my head, that's what I say. But so yeah, but the job is really hard because education is really hard right now. But my classes are going well. My program is good. And I'm really grateful to have the opportunities to like be in leadership meetings with the district and like kind of get my feet wet and be in conversations and kind of be in the room, but not be the one who's fully responsible for anything. So it's really nice. Yeah. And then just trying to run and bake and hang out with family to take care of myself. So yeah.
Well, I can say that I survived 3rd grade. The first day was like a first pancake, kind of a hot mess, kind of a thing. Like it just was hard. Getting to know each other and whatnot. But as the week went on, like we kind of came up with we figured each other out. But yeah, there were a couple of like emotional kiddos that you had to like calm down, but it's just hard like managing 19 little people with 19 different personalities and emotions and
Presence.
voices, and you're just so yeah, it was a lot of class, yes, please be quiet, and but I had 3 kids draw me pictures at the end of the week, so I was like, I think that's a good sign that they liked me. I don't know, but
Oh.
I definitely don't want to do it again. I don't know, just because it like I don't know. I think with my MS and stuff, like cognition can like often be challenge for me, like just being fully there sometimes and like really keeping everything on task. Because I mean, the day goes by super fast, but you're literally going from one thing to another, and you have to remember like, hey, what time do we need to do this at, and we got to be done at this time, and it's just exhausting, like physically, mentally, and emotionally. So I've been in high school this week, and I'm like, cool, I get to watch people play basketball all day long. Cool, I can handle this,
Nice.
So yeah. So
That's good that
anyways,
you're figuring out what you will say yes to and what you won't say yes.
yeah. And I was happy to help out. And I think it helped being there for a full week, because when you're only there once, like they don't care. They don't know you. You don't know their schedule. So that was kind of helpful. But yeah, I think every time I sub, I just have such a deep respect for educators. Like they should get paid more. They like, I don't know. There's just like so many things that I just like have such like a deep respect for people who are good teachers. Like I think they're the ones that kind of get overlooked. So high fives, shout outs to all you awesome teachers out there. But yeah, so it's kind of made me think like, okay, do I want to like go and get my education certification and like teach full time, or do I just want to keep subbing full time? I don't know yet. So it's just like
Either way, both of those positions are needed in education. So
yeah. So it's all good, but I just think it's so interesting that somehow all 3 of us are educators in various ways. Like, who knew that this
is
would be
interesting. Yeah.
from like very different perspectives, and we all come with like, our little strengths. And again, like I would just like, love to watch you, Molly, like command a room and talk to like out of control children and how you be the wet blanket, like all these things. Like I just would love to see that in action. So awesome. Well, I wanted to make sure, Abby, you got an opportunity to speak because you didn't last time.
Well, it's also a choice. I chime in when I want and when it feels necessary. And I didn't want to, and it didn't feel necessary last week. So it's fine.
Yeah.
I'm trying to hone more Alex vibes in my life.
Like
And sometimes he just says, sometimes just opt to be quiet. And I'm like, what? So that's what I'm trying to do.
Does he say that to you?
Not for me to be quiet, but like for himself. He's just like, sometimes
that sounds kind of mean.
No.
Like, maybe you should just be quiet.
No, that really came off wrong. No, it's more of like he's speaking from his own experience in what he does. He's like, maybe it's just okay to not overshare, because I am an oversharer. And so I'm trying to only share if I feel.
I don't know what that's like, because silence makes me nervous. Therefore, I fill the space.
Oh, yeah.
Well, cool. Well, I thought that would be kind of like a fun little word. Maybe educator could have been our
Love it.
Word for the day.
Well, thanks for listening to A Word with the Girls, a podcast where one word sparks conversation. This word was educator or education. Both. So this word means, different things to each of us. So we're interested to know if you take it to your people. So now it's your turn. Take this word to your people and see where the conversation takes you. Let us know how it goes on Instagram or here on Spotify or YouTube. All right.
Okay. Chat with y'all later.
Bye.
Okay, bye. Love you.
Love you more. Bye.
Bye.